databases with various visualization. These visualization can be used for a basic level. To have even more advanced visualization, we can use libraries like Matplotlib and Seaborn, and there are many other libraries also. So actually, the pandas plot function is just a wrapper over plt.plot. So it's Matplotlib which works in the underline. But let's look what are the various visualizations that we can do with just a single line of command. So let's get started. So I'm just importing the libraries over here and I'm creating a set of random variables. The shape is 10 comma 4. So we have 10 rows and 4 columns. So the index, while creating the data frame, I'm ranging the index from the 1st of January 2000 to 10 places from there, and I'm also giving the columns over here. So let's see what happens. So I'll just first you'll just see the data frame. So this is the data frame that is available. Okay, we have 4 columns over here and 10 rows. So I can plot it. So plot, what it does is it creates a line plot. So it starts over here. We'll just consider one of the things. So we'll consider the green which is C. So C starts from -2. At next point it goes to 0, something like 0. From there it goes to 0.5. From there it goes to 1.7 something. So this is how it's plotted. It's without any parameters. You can have any parameters for this, like kind. So that we have generally used line plot, which is the default. Similarly, we have many other plots like bar h, hist, box, kde, density, area, pi scatter, and xbin. So we'll look into some of them. So it's no way an extensive list. We will be actually having a separate section for visualization. At that section, we will be understanding each and every of these kind of graph intuitively. So now we'll just run it and have a general outline alone. So similarly, I'm creating a random numbers and generating the columns, and I'm using bar plot right now. Plot.bar. It creates a bar plot. Okay. You can similarly call df.plot. This also results in the same kind of graph. So you can either call plot.bar or you can give it in the kind parameter. Similarly, you call also plot.bar stacked equal to true. What happens is instead of maintaining so many for each and every data point, maintaining so many things, what we can do is we can maintain using a single stack. So it happens one above the other. It gives you a better visualization. You can compare at each and every point which has done better, which of A, B, and C and D has done better. It can be done using the same thing. It's just like combining all of them together and having a clearer visualization. So sometimes you might feel this arrangement is quite small. You want to change the size. All these things can be done. We will do it in the upcoming session. For right now, we'll just explore the different kinds of charts. So you also have bar H. It does it same kind of thing horizontally. Bar H. Okay. So similarly, I'm creating another data frame. So just creating A, B, and C. So here I'm giving the command hist and bins is equal to 20. So it also has many commands. Okay. By and hist. So what bins means that number of bins that you want to create. So there are totally 20 bins over here, and this is how the data is being separated, generated. Okay. So it almost forms a normal distribution at mean at different places and A, B, and C. Okay. Yeah, it's quite similar, same function. So you can also have box plot. So box plot you might not have been used extensively. So what it actually does is it creates a box. So when you first look at it, you might not have a very clear understanding. But what it actually means is that this is the mean value. It is a 0.25 percentage of quartile. This is 75% quartile. So above this, if there is any point, it becomes the outlier. So it's a wonderful representation to show your data. Okay. So you can see this the mean value of B is quite higher than the value of A and almost of all other columns. So B value column is quite high. Similarly, we can infer details from the box alone, like mean, how much is the 75% quartile, those kind of things. How it is there any outliers? Those things can also be found. We also have area plot. As you can see, it's quite similar. We just get the value and we plot it like this. So a small change. This is normal plot. This is an area plot. Okay. Yeah. So let's not dive deep into the what each and everything in the graph actually explains. Those things will be described in the visualization section. Okay, we also brings us to the scatter plot. So scatter plot, we have to give x and y coordinate. We also can give many other coordinates like the values s and size. So size can be determined by another column. Color can be determined by another column. You can look into those things. Okay. So totally we can include 5 columns in one particular scatter plot itself. So this is the scatter plot over here. So let's say I'm giving a C value to be C. So what it does is it gives the color based on the value in the C column. So finally, let's see the pie chart. So similarly, I've created random variables, created columns. So plot.pyplot subplot is equal to true. It gives you the division in which each of the columns are. Okay. So we have not covered exactly what each and every graph explains. So the objective of this lesson is not to dive deep into them. This is just to show that even using this pandas.plot, we will be able to do lot of functions. So let's look into the visualization in detail in the upcoming sections. Thanks for joining for this video.